LinkedIn Part 2. In this video, we're going to dive into the second part of your LinkedIn profile and to master that About Me section. Very important. Let's go straight into it. If this is your first time visiting my channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss any of the good stuff in the future. So this is the second part of the 4 parts in building your LinkedIn profile. We covered the very important top part of your LinkedIn profile in session 1. Now your picture should be looking fantastic and beautiful. Your headline should be reflecting where you're heading, who you are, and your background wallpaper picture should be complementing to your personal brand on that part. Why did we spend so much time? The reason is this: if that part doesn't excite me as an audience, I will not get to the second part, which we discuss in this episode. And that's the About You section. This section is a fantastic billboard opportunity to convey your message and to really promote yourself for different purposes. And we're going to cover those. So it's really your chance to be out there, to be conveying the true objectives on how you want to be seen as a professional. I'm going to highlight 5 tips that you can directly implement in your LinkedIn profile strategy. And these will help you to gain the visibility and to improve your personal brand on the LinkedIn side. First of all, this About part can be used in multiple different ways for multiple different purposes. For example, if I take my profile, I'm using it more for displaying who I am as a professional, but it's also linked directly to my business, to my company. So I'm using it as a promotional tool to say, these are my qualities and skills and experience, and this is my company, and this is how you can get in touch with me. So it's a blend between a professional story, the benefits, and also a sales business development page. Some other people might use this part for internal purposes, promotion. Many times when I coach people, they say, yes, but I'm happy in my position. I don't need this part. And my response is always, yes, you do. Because internally, you also need to plan your career and how you want to be seen for that internal talent pool. For example, you might be working in engineering, deep engineering, and you want to be moving more towards product or project management in a different field. And this About section allows you to highlight transferable skills, give a little bit of a flavor on your background, but then focus more on where you want to be moving internally in the future. So you'll be using much of the space to really reflect where you want to be heading towards. Maybe the further studies that you're doing in the field, extra projects that you're taking, whatever takes you to that right direction. And that gives an indication to your company that this is where I want to be heading. And later on, I'm gonna do an episode on blogs, and you can then also write blogs on the future topics and kind of connect it with this part. Then you can also be using it for just pure job hunting. You might be active in the market without a current employer. You can put your background there, and you can honestly put there, then just say, I'm looking for further opportunities. This same works for students. They are actively looking for a fresh opportunity. They would use this section for that purpose. Tip number 2, whatever approach objective in your About section, make sure it reflects what makes you tick, what excites you. And when people read through that part, they need to get a good feel already. This is how the person is, and he or she is deeply passionate and cares for these things, that something that gives that person energy. Your sections would be reflecting also your character. So the way you write it should reflect your character. I want to have a next layer on the picture and your upper part of the profile. I want to have a continuation on that. I want to get a feel on your character as well. And here the key really is go straight to the point, cut the extra fat, and just grab the attention from the first sentence already. Tip number 3. Have your past, present, and future in your about section, in your story. This is important because this is your opportunity to highlight, especially if you have worked already for a certain period of time. What have you done? Where do you come from? What achievements have you achieved? What results have you delivered? What are you proud of in your previous work life? And then where are you at the moment, presently? What are you working on? Or what are you studying? Or what's the current activity that you're doing? And then finally, where are you heading? What are your future aspirations, either internally or outside of the organization? Try to get those into the story. That will help the audience to understand your purpose in this About Me section, and also what action they might need or want to take with you. Point number 4. If you feel comfortable and if you have interesting points to mention here, highlight a bit your outside of work life environment. Any particular hobbies, sports, things that you're proud of, things that are core part of you outside of the work. You might give a little sneak preview to the audience on who you are on that side as well. Some cultures prefer to skip this. They don't really consider that as important, but many cultures, majority of the cultures, do appreciate a little taste on who you are outside of work. Point number 5 is a call to action. You need a call to action, especially if you're already happily working and you're just making this to kind of promote your next direction. Then your call to action doesn't need to be there, or doesn't need to be that strong. But if you're actively looking, if you like people to contact you, then make sure it's here. Make sure you mention, I'm looking for opportunities, I'm open for internships, I'm looking for permanent opportunities in particular field, market here. And then call to action should also include, how do you prefer that people contact you? Maybe you put your email address here. Maybe you mention that they can connect with you and send you a message. Make sure the call to action is there. So those were the 5 tips on how you can improve your about part of the profile. And now we're going to be moving to the episode 3, which will be then the work experience and the education. I'll see you there.